Okay, so in our first game, we meet Alyjra. She is a young priestess of the spider cult. Her mother is a very powerful matron in the houses of the Dark Elves. She led an expedition to a region protected by the undead. This was a way to prove herself. She failed miserably and was pushed back to a region of the caves called Hourglass Basin. And here she awoke from her injuries, and well, now she's trying to get back to her outpost to regroup. She must cross a bridge over a trench. It's like a ledge over a trench, which is 120 feet down. So suddenly, a marauding band of goblins decide that it's a good time to kill some dark elves, and that's what we're going to see today in today's game.
MJ Hobby Corner here. Welcome to my channel, everyone. And today I'm having another MJ Hobby Corner game. And this time we are continuing with the little mini campaign using the Dark Elves. And the character's name is Alyjra Dyren. She is a young priestess of the spider cult. And I'll have a video eventually describing how my dark elves function, some of the fluff that I made up for these dark elves. So Alydra's a young priestess. She didn't do very, very well last game. And today she's going to have to escape this region and head back to her outpost in the great stalactite fields that are not too far away. All right, so I am using Age of Fantasy skirmish rules from one-page rules and adding a couple of the extra rules from the Patreon. So today we have a nice, interesting board. It is a cave board. It's more of a passageway, okay? And I also have some tinted lights, some blue lights to give the cave, the atmosphere, a little bit more interest, to make it a little more like a cave. All right, so let's go over the board and the objectives and the scenario, and we'll get playing. Okay, so this is the board. Nice dark blue lit board. It's really cool. And goblins are deployed over there on that side. There's 3 little groups. One group has 2 little goblins with swords. There's another one right next to it. And then there's a third one with spears, okay? So as usual, I roll a 6-sided dice. Each of those groups is a D3 designation. So 1 through 2, 3 to 4, 5 through 6. Then they get to activate. Now the objectives, I have one objective here for my Dark Elves. It's 3 inches away from my deployment. There is another objective on the Goblin side, 3 inches away from their deployment. Now, what I'm going to do to give me a chance, to give Alyjra a chance to actually win the game, the objectives are destroyed whenever you are within 3 inches of them, one of your units. And I either have to win or get a tie result in order to have her escape from the board, okay? So we're saying that once either she gets a tie or she destroys the goblin marker, then she safely gets off the board. Any other condition, if the goblins destroy mine, but I don't get to destroy theirs at the end of round 4, if that is still the case, then Alyjra does not escape. She loses the game. Okay, and so the goblins are going to get the benefit of recycling one unit that has died every round. So because there are a lot of goblins in this area, so I'll just unit of the same composition. So if one of those two-man goblin units gets destroyed at the end of the round, I'll roll, see if another unit comes in from the same board here. So it kind of like resuscitates basically. Placing the dark elf ones into the bag, it's 3 and 3. When that shaman enters the board, then the goblins will have one more gem in the bag. So let's see. Okay, and it is a red gem. Okay, so in this situation, my archer and the two crossbowmen are going to fire. They get 6 dice. I did 5 hits because they hit on threes. No rending results. So basically, I can split. This was my target. I can split all the hits as evenly as possible between any other units within 3 inches. However, normally the player gets to pick the target in two-player games. So what I'm going to do is just roll. 1 through 2, that's the target I chose. 3 to 4, it goes here, and 5 through 6, it goes here. So I'm going to do that now, and I rolled a 1, so the target is actually going to be here. It's going to be that unit, any figure in that unit. So I'm just going to say the front figure. Even though the target was shifted here, those are still 3 inches away, so I can still spread them 2 wounds apiece. All right, so I'm going to try to get as many wounds as possible on that little swarm. Okay, round 1 is over. So the result of this combat, 2 goblins were felled on this unit here, 2 wounds there. Then 2 wounds went to this goblin, destroyed one of them, and then that guy is stunned. All right, he had to roll on the knockout table +1 because of the wound. So he's stunned. All right, and then Maw moves over here. Alyjra gives him a rush order. He is in position to attack that objective when he can. And then Alyjra tried casting a spell. She took an advance action with Evashandra. I am saying that she can see through this, through these low areas here. They're also climbable, so it's like a boulder division, a boulder pile or something, right? But it's still climbable on this side. Um, she tried to, using that little crevice, tried to put a spell on these guys, Blade Storm, but she failed. So she did not get to destroy them. All right, so round 1 is over. Let us go to round 2. All right, so the Goblin Shaman has now entered the board using ambush. He has to be within 9 inches of a target model. So he did come out of this board edge. So I'm going to remeasure that, make sure that's 9 inches, put him in the right location. And then, so he is in, and now there is an extra goblin marker in the bag. If all these goblins get destroyed, I am going to allow that number of units to enter the board again. That'll give me a little bit of a challenge. So these goblins have a little bit of a swarm thing going on, all right? So I am going to give them a chance to recycle when I destroy, units, all right? At the end of the round, of course. Okay, so let's see who gets to react. The shaman is in the board. There's a couple of units that are pretty down. So let's see. All right, it is a red gem, so it goes to the goblins. All right. Um, let us see what happens. So I'm going to just spin the board carefully and see. All right, here is the shaman. All right, so let's give the goblins some numbers here. So we have this little group. There's two little groups here. One is an individual goblin. He was part of that old group. Three little groups here, actually. And then there's this individual who's stunned. He's going to get the gem. Okay, so a lone little spear goblin has charge. He hits on 5s. He has 3 dice. Yikes. One hit on my crossbow guy, and that is Liam. Blocks on 6s. Oh, man. And he blocks! So, Liam blocks the hit. And actually, it's a full unit, so it doesn't really matter. Goblin has to move back by an inch. No morale, nothing. Alright, he's still in scoring range pending. So I have to destroy him before end of round 3. I should be able to do that. Okay. Another red gem. And that is to be expected because the goblins had one more gem in the bag, so. And that is a 6, so it's going to the shaman. Thankfully, I don't have to walk anymore. Spin the cave, spin the cave. Alright, so the cave has spun, and now he gets the gem. 6 inches. Okay, and that puts him very close to Maw. Alright, and then he's going to cast a spell and then complete his move towards the objective. So he is behind that stalagmite, and there is Maw right there. So the shaman is going to cast a spell. Let's see which spell he casts. Okay, so in the darkness of the cave, the wizard casts a spell. Okay, so he's going to choose a random spell by using the casting number. Most casting numbers are either 4, 5, or 6. And he rolls D3 plus 1 because he's a wizard level 1. So let's see where that puts him. So he rolls a 3 plus 1 is 4. So it's going to be a Spider's Might spell, which is 4 plus. Adds that he's going to cast a spell on his little buddies, which are within the 12-inch range. And they're right there, and they get poisoned this next time around, so that's going to give them a benefit. Alright, so they have poison then. The spell goes off, and I'm just going to mark them just so that I remember. And I'm going to give them an orange marker that just tells me that they have poison the next time around. That's great. Alright, and then he's going to complete his move. Too bad Alyjra was not in line of sight. She could have tried to stop that spell. Another red gem. So yeah, these goblins are really taking the initiative. Alright, spinning the cave. The 6 will be the stunned one that gets it. Okay, so it's the stunned one that gets the gem. Stay idle, and at the end of this round, he's going to lose stunned. Alright, so now let's pull another thing from the bag and see what happened. Now I finally pulled out a blue gem. Alright, so I can do a couple of things. I didn't strike back, which I should have. I always forget to strike back with my guys. That's on me. Weapon is A1, so 2 for the crossbowmen. Arane has a hand weapon with Dark Toxin, so it's AP1. I'm going to give her a white dice because she has AP1 because of poison. So let's attack that little spear dude. All 3 hit, including the poison one, which is AP1. To roll a block, and his white dice is going to try to block the poison attack. He rolls 6s, however. 1 block, and that's a black dice. The other 2 go through. So 2 hits go through. He is a single model, so he's going to roll on the knockout table, the wound table. He rolled a 6. 6. That means he is knocked out of the game. That was 6 points. Okay, so a gem has been removed from the bag. It is a blue gem, so looks like I get to go. It's Maw, so Maw gets to move. He is the last guy that moves. So let's spin this. Just going to give him a hold action. So he's going to hold, and he's not going to move. She's going to stay right there. And moving my cave. All right, so this is the situation. And then we have a little unit there. Now the goblins have lost a unit, so I'm going to let them roll to see if that unit returns. And let's see if a unit replaces it, rather. All right, they rolled a 4, so yes, one unit does enter the board. They do get to replace a small 2-man unit. And let's see where they pop out from. Table edge, 1 through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over on that big ledge. They rolled a 4. So that's over here where the goblins originally started. Right here, right by their objective. All right, before the round is over, forgot that these guys have to move. They have poison. So let's resolve these spearmen. Okay, so they're obviously going to attack my crossbowmen. They're going to charge in. They're going to attack Aryna's unit. Attack. They have 3 strikes apiece. They have poison. Let's see what that does. Okay, so this is really bad. Any 6 is multiplied by 3 because of poison. So that's not good. That's not good. That could really, really make things very bad for me. So, okay. So 6 dice because it's 2 little guys. No 6s, please. They hit on 5s. And of course, they rolled 2 damn 6s. 1, 2, 3. 3 blocked. And 4 go through. Alright, so 4. So let's see. I got, oh man, this sucks. So my 2 crossbowmen are down. That takes 2. And then Aryna takes 2 hits. She has to roll on the wound table. She rolled a 6. Of course she does. Knocks out the whole unit. Alright, I'm screwed. It's so not good. I just lost Aryna and her 2 crossbowmen companion. That unit is gone. If this show of force displayed by Alyjra works out. Okay, so first little goblin there. Let's see. He needs 5s. He rolled a 2. A 2. He is out of the board. He routs. Of course, they are going to recycle after this, but that's okay. Gives me a good chance. Now the shaman. Shaman rolls another 2. Shaman is out of the board. Now the shaman, once he runs away or is destroyed, he's not going to recycle. Only the fighting goblins are. So let's see this last unit here. They all routed. My objective is clear. 3rd dice. 2. 3 2s. 3 2s. And they saw that from far away. They're like, nope. We're done here. Goblins have routed. Thanks to Alydra's show of force. Good work, Alyjra. All right. She now has given me a chance. So they all run away, but now I have to recycle a whole new band. Let's see how many goblins come back. We're 3 fighting units. The shaman will not come back. He is done. He just ran away. He's like, nope. I rolled a 2, so no. 3, so that's 1 group back. And a 5, so 2 units come back to the board. So let's set them up. I'm going to take 2 gems and reload the bag and all that good stuff. So each edge is going to have 1 through 2, 3 to 4, 5 through 6. Okay, so round 3, I'm just going to do a summary. All the goblins came out here on this ledge. Those, the 3 spear guys and the 2 swordmen, they appear there. So let us see what happens. All right. Moving on then to the dice bag. Let's just pull it out before the summary. See what's going to come out. What's going to react first. And it's a red gem. The goblins have initiative. Okay, so round 3 was very fast. Alyjra has a defensive stance. That was from the extra actions. It's just that orange gem there. So that's it. The goblins moved here. And then the other goblin group moved towards their objective. They're they're contesting it with Maw. Maw has to do something next round in order to eliminate that objective. So hopefully he does. Yeah. And she gets 2 dice, AP1. She hits on 4s. Bludgeon rules, which I added to this game. Those are in effect. So let's see. She rolls a 4 and a 1, so 1 hit. Let's see if the goblin blocks. He blocks on 6s. No, he does not. 1 dude is wiped out. Okay, so we're looking good now. We're looking good. Alyjra may just escape this, all right? There she is fighting that little ankle biter. All right, so let us now go to the bag and see what we pull out in this dreary bluish cave. I love the blue light. The final round, so let's see. Come on, Maw. He's going to get it. And he is going to do a charge because, of course, he is. Dice for claws, AP1. AP1 due to dark toxin. So, yeah, we'll look at his ugly, bumpy butt. All right. So, 3s for Maw. Rolled a 5 and a 1. 1 hit. Goblins get to block. They rolled a 2, so no. 1 spearman is out of there. Blip. So goblins get to retaliate. There's 2 of them, and they are spear guys, so they roll on hit on 5s. There's 3 dice. So, ooh, they get 6 dice. Jeez. Oh. Okay, so it only looks like 1 hit. They hit on 5, so yeah, they missed a bunch of times. But they do 1 hit. And I add +1 to it. He rolls a 6. +1 is 7. And this guy is taken out here in round 4. So that is it. That is game. The goblins managed to tie the game. Nobody wins. Alright guys, well that was a very short OPR Age of Fantasy rules, and I'm maybe in the future I'll make the games a little longer. I'm using them to play this underground battle campaign. So I want to do something a little different, and hopefully people will help Alyjra out. So which way should she go? There is B up north, which is the original exit, but is possibly compromised. There is a maze of tunnels to the west, which is roughly the direction that she wants to go. Her outpost is located roughly northwest. And then in the east, there are some caverns. Alyjra can hear water coming out of these, the sound of water from this area. And she remembers that there may be a pool of healing water around here. Now, Alyjra can also hear a troll, possibly coming from the north. It's hard to say, but there is definitely another pack of goblins and what appears to be a troll up there coming from the northern crevices. So, does she go sea east, right, where the healing water might be? Does she risk it and head north, her original exit, where there may be a troll and a few more goblins? Or the west, which is an area that will lead her to, well, a series of tunnels, and she's not really sure what the terrain will be like in the west. So A is west, B is north, and C would be east. So that's the situation I hope you will choose for her. And we're just gonna spin the cave because I can. I like spinning the cave. Yeah, very cool. And there you go. There's a scene of the chamber. All right.